Welcome to the South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report. I'm Heath, and it's time to get into the bite. I like that delayed intro, right? All right. Welcome to the show, everybody. South Florida's premier resource for everything local fishing. We're going to go over what's biting, who's catching it, where it's being caught. We're also going to cover your future marine forecast, moon phase, and tide chart. Everything you need to know to help keep you in the bite. So, welcome to the show, folks. Here we go. Before we get into this, though, if you want to learn more about fishing, grow as an angler, or just see some great and exciting offshore fishing adventures, you can start by hitting the subscribe button and joining the South Florida Saltwater Fishing family. All right, folks, welcome to the show. Wasn't much of a fishing weekend due to the weather, and we've got several cool fronts moving through, so the wind is going to yet again start picking up and continuing, and so don't expect much in the way of fairly friendly weather. So let's get right into this, right into the people who were actually able to get out and get a line wet, maybe get some fish in the boat. We're going to start out with Gary. Gary took a trip down to the Keys, and he caught himself a nice Jack Crevalle. Taking the kiddos out, said he got this on a white bucktail jig. I believe he thought it was a yellow jack. Unfortunately, it is not. That's a Jack Crevalle. But still, hey, you know what? You fire up the smoker, and bad boys are good to go. And, you know, in case you don't know, South Florida Saltwater Fishing Apparel is available through WindRider, and he has very good taste in fishing shirts, I have to say. So anyway, great job fishing off the bridge right there in the bay off of Duck Key. So the jacks, you know, jacks are swimming around right now, everything. We also have a shrimp run going on. So anybody who laces into the shrimp, please, throw us a bone. All right, let's look and see what else we got going on. That's really Inshore stuff. We have Joel went out and hit up the reef, got himself some mutton snappers, yellowtails, and porgy. So, yes, I know what everyone's going to say. Looks like he's got an 18-inch foot. We're not judging here, though. So those some great catches, right? The mutton snapper, and the yellowtail. The snappers are starting to fire up as we approach spring. The fishing's going to be good, right? Your pelagics are going to start coming back in and biting more heavily and everything. I'm sure everybody's waiting for it. All right, Neil Link, Palm Beach Charters.net, Palm Beach fishing charters out of Palm Beach Inlet. If you are in the market, he took these folks out. They did hit up the reef, caught some grunts and grits. Very nice meal. Ended up with a nice keeper mahi along the way too. Nice porgy. So everything here is dinner, obviously. You know, some nice tacos and a little bit of everything to go along with it. If you are in Palm Beach County and you are looking for a charter boat captain, hit up Neil. His website is palmbeachcharters.net. He's always posting on this group. Got a business to run, family to feed. Again, if you can't get a hold of him, come through me, ask me. I can put you in touch with him definitely through messaging and stuff, and we can make it happen for you if you're in the market for going out on a charter boat. All right, what else? Let me see the reef. The reef was on fire, right? So obviously, everything's biting pretty good on the reef. We did have a few wahoo caught on the waning side of the moon. We're in the waning phase right now, which means we're heading towards the new moon. Here we go. Pete Altman out of Key Largo. Very nice wahoo. Solid double digits right there. Good stuff. He looks like he's got his TLDs in action. Very good. Like I said, a couple of wahoo swimming around that we had this weekend. The people that got out were able to make it happen. This is Dean Del Bracco, caught February 10th. This was a whole funny issue because in his post, he put 2/10, and I'm like, wow, man, this guy's on fire. He managed to hook 10 wahoo and got 2 of them. And what he meant was February 10th. It was a funny little thread that went on there. Anyway, congratulations to Dean, and he is the poster child this week for the thumbnail. So nice catch. So that's a couple of wahoo. The wahoo were swimming around on the this waning side of the full moon. And here we go. Tom Brindle. Nice kingfish. Said got him a couple miles outside of Boynton Inlet. That's a, it's a legal one. They got to be 24 inches. Definitely, when they're the juvenile size, they are definitely a little less oily, a little less, I don't think kingfish are fishy tasting at all. They got a oily, funky flavor to them. I personally love them. So, you ever catch them and you don't want to, be sure to, I haven't done much fishing in a year. So anyway, regardless. So there we go. Yeah. That's what we're looking at. Usual suspects, right, folks? Tuna are going around. So that's all we really had for our fishing report this week going on with all the posts. Like I said, it was fairly rough this weekend. So, if you didn't get out, hey, it is what it is. We got another window of opportunity happening in the middle of the week this week. We'll go over that here in a few minutes. So regardless, inshore, right? We've got this shrimp run. If you've got the net, the time in the middle of the night to go out and do the shrimp run, go do it, have some fun. They're all over the place right now. So, get out there and do it. The reefs are holding the snappers. They're holding the Cero mackerel. The kingfish I saw some fairly good kingfish bites from charter boats. The wahoo bite obviously happened. We had a fairly good February full moon wahoo bite. So can't complain about that. The mahi are really scattered right now. If you run into them, hey, congratulations. Keep them if you get them. And we got the little football blackfin tunas with the sparse, bigger full-grown ones, which will be showing up in full force here a couple months from now. All right, so that's what we got going on, right? And it's the nature of the beast. Wish we had more posts, but getting out in the weather is not for everyone. So let's go over what more weather we've got. Like I said, we just had a front pass us last night. We are going to have another one pass us. I think Wednesday into Thursday, and then we'll have a little bit of a cool down Friday, and then of course the wind is going to pick up all weekend, and then come Monday we've got another cool front coming. So we're in the windy zone right now. We're heading into spring. This happens. It's just the cycle of the weather pattern that's happening. And when you get a day here, a day there, if you can, do it. Other than that, if you're stuck and trapped on just being able to do it on the weekends, sit tight. The fish ain't going nowhere. And, when you get a chance, just, you got to get out there and do it when you get a chance. So let's start going over our weather real quick. Like I said, it's not, hopefully get on with life real quick. So this is today. Well, let's look at tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Of course, we've got the wind going to start picking up. We're going to have the return of the humidity with the southerly flow pushing in the air. The high pressure is going to head off to the east towards the Bahamas out here. And then we'll get some high pressure in. It's going to increase our temperatures up to the mid 80s over the next couple of days. And then, like I said, a cool down Friday morning, but it's not cold. It might be in the mid to upper 50s, and then it's going to heat up real quick. All right. So let's look at tomorrow afternoon. Not much. So again, I'll just briefly touch base with this. If you are new to the show, this is a website called Windy. There's also the app. You can visit it. How you judge this is if you look by these color codes down here. There's a color coded chart that will tell you in knots how fast the wind is blowing, right? So when you see the green area, you're between 10 and 20 knots. The more yellow you get, you are heading into the 20 plus mile knots, which knots of miles an hour. So similar, you can almost say miles an hour. If you're on a PC and you want to know like your exact area, like, so let's say we go to Boca Raton, right about, the third reef or so, we click on it, you can see that it's blowing 15 knots from the south. That's tomorrow afternoon, right? So, fairly darn windy. And as you can see, we've got lots happening out in the Gulf. Down further south to the Keys, they've got the south wind, right? And it's a little bit less going on. So let's look at Thursday morning around 7 a.m. The Keys start getting a westerly wind. There's the north flow. So again, this is with the approach of the front, right? Let me zoom out instead of zooming in. So you see this front is going to come down Thursday night. It'll be passing us Friday. Actually, it's well, they're saying the front's here. Yeah, this is Thursday morning. So Wednesday through Thursday is your front, and then Friday we'll have the cool down. So strong north winds going to be happening Thursday morning. And here's our Tri-County area up into Vero Beach. Very, strong winds might create a swell the day after. So we'll see about that, what they say. Thursday afternoon, still ripping as the front has passed. So behind the front is when the fan starts to really kick on, right? All right, Friday morning, and we'll do 8 a.m., right? We've got a northeast wind after the front has passed. It's going to be cool down, but we've got very windy conditions across the whole state. And like I said, this is just what's happening. This is the cycle. You're just going to have to sit tight. The breeze is really going to kick in. That northeast breeze is coming right now, as you can see, and it's not letting up. Friday, Saturday, and then going into the weekend, it's only going to pick up even more. So watch this. Let's see here. Saturday morning, about 8 a.m., right? As more northerly, it's let down, but it's coming almost straight from the east, and the double digits. A little bit south on the west. The west end, the west side is the leeward side. So, in their state waters, they'll probably be laid down a little bit. Might be a little bit murky because they're passing front, but not too bad. Tampa Bay and all that goodness. 10,000 islands from, down around here, and Everglades National Park that's a few inches of water. So, you might have to stick to that if that's your cup of tea. Saturday evening seems like it wants to slow down a little bit, heading into Sunday morning, 7 a.m. Sunday morning looks like it's going to let up a little bit and actually be less than 10 miles an hour. So we shall see. Sunday might actually be, a doable day where the wind lets up, and it'll probably still be fairly choppy out there, but you might have a window of opportunity there. Let's see. I have a feeling we're going to get conflicting reports because of the speed of the fronts flowing through left and right. So Sunday afternoon still stays fairly calm, around 10 knots, maybe a little less, all up and down the East Coast. The Keys tend to be a little bit elevated, and our West Coast, of course, is, they're still protected, and they got a dead spot right around here, but that's just where we've got a little area of convection. As you can see, different winds meeting, coming and heading westerly from here, coming from the south, coming from the north. They meet and they head out. So that's what's causing that little dead spot that you see right there. All right, Sunday, Monday, again, another cool front will be coming through. We've got some lighter winds on Monday, not too bad. And it's heading in all sorts of different directions. The more we head up the further of the state, again, we're going to have a front heading through Monday into Tuesday. So it looks like, maybe Sunday into Monday might be fairly doable. Let's look at Monday afternoon, see what happens. It's looking like it's picking up again. Got some fairly inactive over the mainland. Heading into Tuesday morning, right? Here we go. Some stronger winds from the southeast. And of course, the west side is in the Gulf is fairly laid, will be fairly laid down because of the direction of the wind. And of course, the wind coming from the southeast is going to elevate everything for us on our waters. Tuesday afternoon, more of the same, not bad, but we'll see. Let's take a look and see what our waves are going to look like, right? So let's head into tomorrow morning around 7 a.m. There we go, waves. Waves are not looking too bad. Solid 2 to 4. Down in the Keys, they're looking a little less. Your West Coast, obviously, with a couple of inches of water that they got all around, it's looking good. Tomorrow afternoon, at 5 p.m. A little bit up north, looking a little bit bumpy. Down south, water is starting to head our way. Of course, there's going to be a huge push of water as the front passes through Wednesday into Thursday. Thursday morning, 7 a.m.-ish. See, here's that water push. This happens when you get a front coming through. It pushes a lot of water and it creates lots of big waves. So Thursday morning, actually not looking too bad in the Tri-County area. Again, so we come here and we can click on BOCA. We see 2 foot waves from the southeast with a 4-second period. So, you know, getting out there and trying to do some reef trolling, not bad. It'll be a little choppy because the period is so close together. So when you have a period of waves that's, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, it's a 2 foot wave, but you're constantly up and down and up and down and up and down. So, you know, if you're in a 17 foot boat, you're going to be rocking and rolling. If you're in a 40 foot boat, not so bad. All right. So that's Thursday morning, right? And then as the day wanes on, the water push from the waves is going to come. Like I said, this is what happens after the front hits you. So big waves looking Thursday afternoon, start picking up, 4 or 5 footers right there. Friday morning around, let's do 8 a.m. Same thing. Still very large waves out there. You're looking at, fairly treacherous conditions up and down. Okay. This is what has happened as the front has passed us by. So we'll see if everybody agrees with that, but this is typical of that weather pattern. It's not anything that is out of the ordinary. Friday afternoon, the wave as the front, heads and starts turning and dissipating, getting south of us, the water push will slow down. Sunday morning around, let's look, 8 a.m. You see how it goes away real quick, but you're still, we're still looking at a solid 2 to 4 in the morning getting out there. West Coast, obviously, it's laid down a lot, and that's just due to the lack of water. Out here in the Tri-County area, we've got that steep drop-off where there's a lot of water for waves to build up, and then as it creeps up the reef really quickly, that's where you get that huge chop and those big waves right in close. So like I said, if we look here off BOCA, we're looking at 7 foot waves with a 7-second period. So it's kind of a swell, but it's still very large wave. 7 seconds in between waves is not really bad. Saturday afternoon calms down. We're looking at 2 to 4 as that water push is really going away. Everglades National Park is looking good, but on the ocean side of the Keys, you're at that 2 to 4 foot range. All right, Sunday morning. Let's look Sunday morning. Still 2 to 4. Still a good amount of waves. 4 foot at 7 seconds. Hold on, I got a cat that needs to go outside. Bear with me. The cheese ball is begging. There you go. Go, kitty. Sorry for the interruption. I'm back. All right. 4 foot seas is what they're saying. This is Sunday morning. So even though as in the other graphic, we saw the wind's going to die down. It's the natural occurring phenomenon that, hey, just because the wind dies down real quick does not mean the ocean is going to settle down real quick. The same thing in reverse too. If you've got nice calm seas and the wind all of a sudden picks up, that doesn't mean it's going to go from being dead flat, nice, beautiful seas to, 3 to 5 within a matter of hours or minutes. It takes a little bit for that water to push. All right. So that is Sunday morning. Sunday afternoon, looks like it lets up as the day goes on, and you're looking at, 2 to 3, choppy 2 not really choppy 2 to 3. If you got 3-foot seas with a 7-second period coming from the northeast, that's the swell that is following the front. So head into Monday morning, 6 a.m. Not bad, 2-foot seas. So come early next week, Monday looks like a very, doable day. Early next week, maybe even Sunday afternoon, get out there and do it. And we also saw a small window of opportunity Thursday morning before the front really passes through. So this is Monday. This is Monday morning. Let's take a look-see at Monday afternoon around 5 p.m. Stays the same, 2-foot. The waves start to look like they turn more from the northeast to south to southeast, and you lose a second of your period, but still not very choppy, not very bad. Tuesday, 7 a.m., about the same thing. So early into next week, even with the passing of another front, it looks like, Monday and Tuesday, even if the wind is really ripping out there, it looks like you might be able to get out there and do it. Tuesday afternoon, it looks like it starts picking up. That's probably because of the consistency of the wind again. So let's look at our rain real quick, see where we've got any activity going on. It's going to be fairly dry. These fronts are going to pass through, but the rain activity that comes with them is not going to stick around as it gets to us. So as you can see, we got some stuff way offshore up north. That's tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, 5 o'clock. Still, here comes the front, right? So Wednesday into Thursday morning. So we'll see where it's at. Thursday morning, 7 a.m. It has passed us, and that would be right as the front is getting by. That's your dead spot in that wind. A chance to get out there and do it. And the water is going to follow in the afternoon, and the seas are going to pick up. Thursday afternoon, fairly dry. So as you saw, that front came down, and as it hit South Florida, the moisture in the air just gave up. It doesn't make it all the way down. And we're going to stay pretty dry continuously. Very low chance, 20% chance of rain, less if that, and if anything, it'll be a spotty shower. It's not going to be we'll have some cloudy days, but we're not going to have rain really. Maybe a shower or two, nothing real big. All right, so let's look. Friday, 7 a.m., dry. Friday afternoon, dry. So you see, with these weather conditions, and then, the fan's going to turn on come the weekend. So even if it's dry out there, we've got very large seas happening because of the front that passed. Saturday afternoon, dry, just a little something out here, not much. Sunday morning, nothing much. Sunday afternoon, and again, got heavy winds coming out Sunday afternoon. This will be the front that's probably going to pass us by Sunday into Monday. Here's Monday morning around 7 a.m. Yeah, that's that front. So we'll have that front that'll pass through Sunday to Monday. And then, of course, that's where right behind it is where we saw we didn't have much of the seas picking up. So it's not going to be a very strong front, something very mild, obviously, that isn't pushing the water like the one we're going to see this week come Thursday. Monday afternoon, front looks like it might hang out for a little bit of wet stuff right there, right? Which would be good because we are in the dry season right now. Tuesday morning, 7 a.m., the front is still taking its sweet old time to get by. So as the front is going by, it's going to take its time. That's why we're going to see those seas kind of lay down. And then probably after it passes, we'll probably have a push of wind and waves come, the days after it. We'll see what happens. Tuesday afternoon. Yep, the front's just taking its sweet time to get on by us. All right, so let's get out of that one. Let's go to wind. Again, if you're new to tuning into this live stream, it's every week, Tuesday at 6 p.m. It's try to keep everything up to date with current stuff that's being caught. All these websites that we're going over right here, we're going to bring you up to wind right now. All this stuff is in the description. You got that. Also, be sure to check out your local, your webcams. Boynton Inlet webcam, BOCA Inlet webcam, BOCA South Beach webcam, Hillsborough Inlet cam. Every inlet usually has a webcam where you can actually take a look at it and see if all these forecasting websites and stuff that are at your fingertips, see if they're correct or if they are full of baloney. All right, so here we are, wind, right? WindFinder. This is basically the numbers version of what we just looked at. So tomorrow, obviously, winds, variable directions, mid to upper double digits as the day wanes in, cloudy in the afternoon. Looking at 3 to 4 foot seas with a 5-second period. The waves are going to be coming from pretty much the east. Thursday is the day where it looks like you might be able to get out in the morning, right? This is what we saw. So the seas, the wind kind of dies down in the very early morning hours, and then it'll start picking up. Your seas, they're looking at 2 foot seas, 2 to 3 foot seas, right? 7 to 6 second period, waves coming from the northeast. And then as we head into Friday, that's when it really picks up. You got your northeast wind, double digits, not very gusty at all throughout any of this. Not very rainy, cloudy, obviously, is what they're saying. Cloudy all these days. So don't plan out. If you do get out, I wouldn't bring the towel fishing gear. It's not going to happen. Heading into Friday, look, 5 to 6 foot seas with a 7-second period from the northeast. So we've got, it's going to send us in a swell, but not a swell where there's 9 to 10 seconds between. They're a little closer. So if you get out, and you brave that, just bear that in mind, especially heading back into your inlet. Saturday, wind from the east, upper double digits, not very gusty. Again, seas hanging out still around, between 4 and 6 foot seas. The period, you gain a second on a Saturday, but it's still, those are, fairly big waves, 4 to 6 foot seas. Sunday, winds going crazy. Of course, with that front approaching, a little bit of moisture like we saw in the morning and in the afternoon. It's not much. Seas dropping down to, in between 3 and 4 foot. 2 to 4, definitely. 7-second period. Monday, here it looks like we'll get a little break, right? They're saying 3 foot seas, whereas we saw on windy they were saying around 2 foot. So you can plan on 2 to 3 foot seas, 7-second period from the northeast. So Monday and Tuesday, it's looking like you'll have a nice little swell going on, definitely from the northeast. Wind coming from the northeast, waves coming from the northeast. And then we're not going to get very much windy behind that front either. So, coming into Wednesday and Thursday, it's looking like it's going to start letting up even more, which means, your boating activity will probably be able to, hang on for the whole week. If you can get out and do it during the week, hey, great, more power to you. All right. Let's take a look at what NOAA is going to say, even though it's generalities, because it's such a big area that NOAA covers. This is the area that I'm looking at is from Jupiter Inlet to Deerfield. So, it's not a localized thing that we can hone in on and go, okay, we're talking about this specific area. So let's see. Wednesday, they're saying 2 to 3, seas 10 to 15. Yeah. Same thing Thursday. Let's see Thursday, where we saw, it was going to lighten up a little bit. They're saying the seas are 2 to 3, building up to 3 to 5, which is kind of they're falling in line with everybody else. But again, this is such a wide, broad area that with these fronts passing through, this is almost irrelevant. Saturday, they're saying 4 to 6. Sunday, they're saying it's going back down. Winds are northwest, 5 to 10, seas 2 to 3 foot. So that's what NOAA's having to say about that. So not really reliable source. You have to, again, use a couple, WindFinder, Windy, and again, check out your, definitely give it a look at the inlet cams. So, or just take a chance, put the boat in the water, get out there and get it. Let's look at a moon phase, right? So like I said, we are waning. That means we are heading towards the new moon, the dark side of the moon. Waxing means you're heading towards the full moon. So right now, and you see we just passed that full moon, so we did have a quality wahoo bite. I actually saw on local boat Bolo posted a triple header wahoo. Man, that's some exciting times when you can get 3 wahoo on at one time. Excellent. Now they're not all giants. These are the little males that are swimming through, eating everything they can. And come March, you're going to get the big fat 40, 50, 60 pound females swimming around. And they're going to be eaten because they're getting ready to go have little baby wahoos. So that's what's going to happen. And they bite really good when they're at this point. They kind of eat with reckless abandon. So the bite really turns on in March again. And I personally, I had better luck in March than in the fall. But, it's good to always try and give it a shot every moon. All right, so here we go. Today, we're at 69%. Tomorrow, 60%. Thursday, which is the day where we saw a little break, we're at about 50% moon, right? Friday, 41%. Saturday, 31%. Sunday, 22%. Heading into next week, we are heading towards the dark side of the moon, right? Monday, 14%. Tuesday, 7%. And so these days, if the weather is good, right, you got to think about this. When you've got a darker moon, your bait fish are out feeding all night. This is when the guys who go out and catch the thread fins and the goggle eyes and all that stuff, this is when they go out there and they get them, because those fish swim around when the sky is less illuminated. Hey, Sean, good evening. How you doing? And so the phenomenon of that is that the pelagics aren't really able to eat them as much as they are when the sky at night is illuminated by the moon, because they can see everything. They can go on shadows and ambush prey instead of just going by taste and sound. So when it's dark, the pelagics have a better bite. I found that the snapper bite also is a little bit better on the darker side of the moon. Everybody's always got, their personal preferences of what they've had better luck with, more productivity. Some people like the brighter moon. I prefer it when it's, less. But, hey, you got to fish when you got a chance, right? You can't always have everything perfect. So this is our moon phase for this week. We are heading towards the dark side of the moon into next week. So give it another 2 weeks or so, and then you will be getting your March full moon, which should be the solid wahoo bite of springtime. All right, now let's go over our tide charts. We got a couple of good days going into next week, obviously, and Thursday. So tides are very important when it comes to fishing water flow. All right, and especially at inlets, any place where you can fish, land-shore-based land-based fishing, people that are fishing the water flow for fish like wahoo, trolling by it, drifting, anchoring up out there, doing whatever you can, going from mutton snapper, fishing the water flow. When it comes to an inlet, you got to have the outgoing tide. So if you get up in the morning, let's say tomorrow morning, your tide is going to be coming in. You do not want to even bother fishing in inlet. Definitely don't go out on a jetty and try to fish the incoming tide. You will catch nothing. You have to fish the outgoing tide. So let's say you get out there tomorrow afternoon at 4:30 and you want to fish till the sun goes down. That's the outgoing tide. That's when the fish will be there. The phenomenon is that the outgoing tide pushes out all the sediment, all the microorganisms, all the phytoplanktons and all that goodness. Little fish come in and eat them, and then the predators follow them in. Now, don't take predators as wahoo and kingfish and stuff like that. It will send in, your Spanish mackerel, your bluefish, the blue runners are going to come in, the jack crevalles are going to come in, your snook, your tarpon, all those sorts of inshore creatures when you're land-based fishing. Now, further out to the sea, obviously, that's where you'll get your mackerel, possibly the tuna combing the reef, sailfish, stuff like that. Your snapper will also have a better bite on this outgoing tide. Right, we're talking right in front of the inlets. So just bear that in mind. And as we go further into the week, heading in towards the weekend, that's where as day breaks, you are getting that outflow. So come Saturday, so Thursday, right, you're going to be at the end of the outgoing tide as the sun comes up. So if you get out there a little bit before the sun comes up, you might have a little bit of that final chance. The better thing to do would be, if you're a land-based guy, because the ocean's going to pick up Thursday afternoon, you go and you hit your jetties, right? That'll be the time as the sun's going down. If you get off work, you want to go, tossing a line. As we head into the weekend, though, and early next week, you will have the outgoing tide. So come Monday and Tuesday, obviously, you're going to be right at the top of the outgoing tide, and that'll be time to get out there, get your ducks in a row, get some lines in the water, and give it a shot or two. If they're there, they're there. So that about does it for all of this goodness, folks. We are going to get ready and call it quits. But before we do, I want to tell you, if you are in the market for fishing gear, a fishing shirt, UPF 50 fishing shirts, the one you see everybody wearing, they got hoodies, they got gaiters, all that good stuff. Definitely go on ahead to WindRider, our sponsor, and check out the South Florida saltwater fishing gear. As we saw Gary, he was wearing a shirt earlier in the program. These are solid shirts. They keep you warm in the winter. They keep you cool in the summer. They dry quick. They're fairly stain resistant. I've been out there, in very bloody conditions, lots of mahi on the deck, and come home and they clean up fine. If you're in the market, just consider supporting the brand, right? They got them without gaiters, they got them with just hoods, they got it just a t-shirt. You can get the logo of the South Florida Saltwater Fishing on the front, on the back, your choice. They got all sorts of different colors and all sorts of goodies. So again, if you're looking for one of those UPF 50 shirts, which means it's got sun protectant in it, you don't have to wear sunscreen. Me, I'm not a fan of sunscreen. I got the one with the face mask and the hood and everything. I'm good to go. All right. So shameless self-plug right there. Go get you a WindRider shirt with the South Florida Saltwater Fishing logo on it. Support the brand. And if you see me, yell at me and say, "Hey, I bought your shirt." And I'll say, "You're the best." All right. Before we sign off, folks, just want to invite you. If you, let's see here, let me pull it up before I start going off and talking what I don't know about. If you are on Facebook, right, folks, go on ahead, ask to join the South Florida Saltwater Fishing Group. It looks like this without the date. It's up here at the very top. You just can't see it because I'm the administrator and that blue line covers it. Go on ahead. On Facebook, type in South Florida Saltwater Fishing. The group will come up. Ask to join. It's a couple simple questions, folks, right? What's your favorite fish to catch, and are you going to play by the rules? The rules are simple. No spam, no selling crap, no YouTube videos or none of that goodness. I support YouTube guys thoroughly. If you've got a channel, I will promote it on the live stream on the show. If you're a charter boat captain and you submit it, then hey, I'll be more than glad to tell everyone, hey, I can put you in touch with this person. This is where they fish out of. This is obviously, you're seeing a picture of what they caught. So if you join the group, every Monday we put in I put up a post that says, hey, show your catches, right? This is what we had. Like, you know, we had a fairly inactive week because of the crap weather, but hey, if you put your post on it, you will be guaranteed to be showcased in the show. And you also have a chance to be the poster child of the week, which is the thumbnail for the live stream on YouTube. So, yeah, consolation prizes and all. So there we go, folks. That about does it for this week's show, right? Hope to see you next week. And if you can get out, you can get out. If not, we will, you know, just keep praying and hoping that the weather is going to cut us some slack. So that about does it for this one, folks. Till next Tuesday, South Florida saltwater fishing. Going wherever the cool wind takes us.